Okay, so finishing up the solutions for the factoring out a monomial assignment. These are just the last 8. Yeah, you need to figure out what is the greatest common factor, as in what's the biggest number that goes in all of them, and then figure out what's the least amount of the variable power that you can pull out and do that. So out of these, what's the biggest number that goes into all of them? That's going to be 8. And what's the least amount of r's that they have? That's going to be r squared. And so that's what you're going to factor out. And now you just take each of those terms and you divide by 8r squared, and you'll get what's left inside. You'll get negative 5 here, and then plus 2r, and then plus r squared. And that one's it. Moving on to 24, the biggest number that you can factor out is 5, and then there are no m's in this guy, so you can't pull out any m's, and you're just going to divide them all by 5. You'll get negative 2 minus 5m minus 5m to the 5th, and then plus m. And there you go. Next guy, the biggest number that goes in all those is 6, and the least amount of x's available is just 1, so I'm going to pull out the x there. Take all of these, divide by 6x. You'll get x squared, and then subtract 4x, and then plus 5. And that one's done. Moving on to the next one, the biggest number you can pull out you can divide into all of those is going to be 5. And then there's no n on this guy, so we can't pull out any n's. We're just going to divide everything by 5, just like on 24. You'll get 4n squared plus 7 and then minus 5. You'll get that. And then this guy here, there is no number bigger than 1 that goes into all of those. We can't pull out a number, but there is an n in every single factor, so we can pull out an n. And we're just left with 3m to the 11th minus 4m and then plus 4. There you go. The next one right here, it's looking like there is no numbers that go into all of them. And we can't pull out an A, can't pull out a B, because 5's got none of those variables. And so, actually, your starting point is your answer. Moving on to 29, the biggest number that goes into all of those is going to be 6. 6 goes into all of those. And I would be pulling out a variable here, but 30 has no variables with it, so all we can do is pull out a 6, and you just take it all and divide by 6. You'll get negative 2x to the 8th y, and then plus 9y, and plus 5. And that one's all done. Moving on to 30. Let's look at the numbers first. What's the biggest number that goes on all of those? And that's going to be 5. And now looking at the variables. If you have multiple variables, you can factor out one of them if you want to. Figure out what's the least amount of x's available in all of them. That's going to be x to the 3rd, so we can pull out x to the 3rd. And what's the least amount of y's available? That's going to be y to the 2nd, which is in both of those. And now you just need to take everything that was inside and divide by 5, take away 3 of the x's, and take away 2 of the y's. And we'll get negative 7. The x's all got taken away, but we still have the y's. There's going to be 5 y's left. And then we got negative 2. And take away 3 of the x's is going to give me x cubed. Take away the y's, no more y's. And the last part, you get 8. Take away 3 of the x's, take away the 2 y's, and you have no y's left, and that one's all factored out. And ta-da! The end.